ahead and get started. See, Katie's here and Gina's coming in, connecting. Paul and Simone. Oh my gosh, so many. Awesome. So I would love to introduce Kendall Gleason. She is a great friend of mine. We've been friends for 100 years, but she's super young. And she is a really wonderful friend. The fun part about her is that the last time I saw her, we were in China when I was visiting China, because she is a counselor there, and she'll introduce herself shortly. But she's wonderful, and years ago, we did intervention camps together for creative writing and writing for our kids, and did amazing things. So she's always in the know with us creatives, and is really wonderful. So again, open your chat, which is down below, and turn your mic off. And Kendall, take it away.
Oh, thank you, Shondell, for that amazing introduction. I just wanted to say it's morning still. Yes. Good morning to everyone. I hope that you are doing well as we live through these unprecedented times. And so for the next 25 minutes, I want to, sorry, my asthma is acting up really badly lately, allergy season. So for the next 25 minutes, I really want to brief you on, I know we're talking about meditation, Mark Rothko, how do you incorporate self-care and different strategies when it comes to taking care of yourself during this time. So I want to give you some really good tips on how to do that. And I am going to go ahead and share my screen with everyone. So I intend for this to be interactive, but it'll be interactive in the group chat. As Shondell stated, please make sure that your mic is muted so that we don't have the feedback, which kind of messes up the hearing for everyone. But if you do have a question, type it into the chat. I will ask you questions to respond in the chat. We want it to be as interactive as possible. And if you do have any, if you would like to stay beyond the 25 minutes, 5-minute question, feel free to do so. I just hope there isn't some kind of glitch with Zoom. But if there is, we'll work through it. So these are the session objectives: to learn what self-care is, because that's what we all need to be practicing at this moment in time and moving beyond where we are currently. Understanding the importance of mindfulness as a self-care strategy. We're going to practice a strategy that's not only mindful and meditative, it's called deep breathing. So you'll get multiple opportunities to engage in that particular type of relaxation strategy. And we're going to hopefully be able to identify some healthy coping strategies that you can implement during your day-to-day routine, that you can also teach either your loved ones, your children, and things like that. So this is a little bit about me. This is me in my school in Beijing. I've effectively been stranded in Texas since January. So making the best of the situation. But I've been in education for 12 years. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm also a professional school counselor. I love the work that I do. I love working with children, parents, families. And again, I'm currently a secondary counselor at Tsinghua International School in Beijing. So we're gonna get started. And I always believe in having everyone do some sort of self-check to kind of, set the tone for where they are currently. So what I'd like you to do in your Zoom chat, based off of the rating scale, the emoji rating scale that we have here, I kind of want you to do like a self-check. Tell us where you believe your present level of functioning to be currently, on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 is the worst, 5 is the absolute best. I want you to type in the chat, where do you think that you are right now on a level of functioning? And with that, I want you to type in what has been, one of the most challenging aspects of dealing with the physical distancing that we're having to live through right now. So if your mic is on, please mute yourself. If you just joined, please mute yourself and welcome. So go ahead and type that in. Ooh, oh, okay. I see some. What would be my level of functioning? I would say here. All right. Okay. Okay. Lots of fours, which is really good. So what that tells me is a lot of people are managing right now, but there's a lot of it is for educators is not being able to see their students. Oh, I see someone said allergies. And your last name is Kendall. Hey, Olga. I miss my students too. So what I want you to notice is that we have a lot more in common than we have that separates us as far as dealing with the pandemic that we're living through right now. So thank you for sharing. I want to kind of move into just one thing about stress. We're all enduring something, what we call a collective trauma, and that can be very stressful. So Ms. McGonigal, she's an expert in the science of stress, and stress is when something that we care about is at stake. And if we look at what the comments were, the things that we care about, we're missing our students, we're missing that routine. There's a level of uncertainty that we're having to experience right now. So things can become very stressful for us. And how does stress tend to present itself, what we call biophysical feedback? These are some ways in which stress tends to present itself in your body. So from chest tightness, feeling like you can't breathe, muscle tension, aches and pains, headaches, difficulty sleeping, restlessness. That's mine. I've been pretty restless. Heart palpitations, digestive issues, and a whole host of other things. And if we think about, if you just joined, welcome. Could you also mute your mic? So if you really think about the things that we're having to endure, a lot of what the signs of stress are, it also mimics some of the signs of the coronavirus, warning signs. So just the fact that they are linked could add to the level of stress. One of the posts that I've done earlier this week talks about not overly reacting when you feel like your body is physically presenting the of ooh, if you just joined, could you please mute your mic? So I want you to be very cognizant of the fact that stress can also show up as the signs of a potential sickness, but stress can make you sick. So doing your best not to be wrapped up in, oh my God, I'm feeling like this. If you are noticing some of these symptoms, I want you to do what we call like a backwards chain. Kind of think about, well, what happened prior to me feeling this way? And you'll probably notice that you are dealing with some stress and reacting. Your body's reacting in different ways to all of the things that are going on, because you're having to assume multiple roles, probably parent, teacher, caregiver, things like that. So I want you to be very aware of that. That's why I added that slide. And if you do have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat and we'll get to those. So when it comes to stress, I'm running out of time. What? Okay, that's what I feared. When it comes to stress, self-care is a way in which to mitigate some of the signs of stress. And this is the life balance self-care wheel. And these are the different components of self-care. And so what is self-care? It's going to be anything that you do that tends to your mental, your physical well-being, your emotional well-being. And it's going to be something that rejuvenates you, that's going to refuel you and not take away from you. So these are, and I'll give you a copy of this slide of this presentation, but these are the elements in which you can take care of yourself. Let me do something. So good self-care is going to be an element to your improved mood, reducing your anxiety, and it's also vital to the relationships that you have with other people. And so when we get into what that looks like, I want to go first into deep breathing. This is a meditative type of exercise. It is a relaxation technique that we all try, hopefully you'll try. but it's something that is intentional. And how you do it, you breathe in slowly through your nose, and you hold the breath without straining, and then you blow the breath out of your mouth as if you're blowing into a straw. And so I gave you a graphic. This is what we call the 4-square breathing, a graphic to show you how you can do it, but we're also going to do it in other visual ways. So what are the benefits of a deep breathing type of practice? When you practice it on a regular basis, it definitely lowers your mood, improves your mood, lowers your stress, lowers your anxiety. It helps to increase your serotonin levels, helps to clear your mind. Hold on one second. The benefits are listed here. Everybody can, yes, I am. Lowers your blood pressure, enhances your mood, and increases the oxygen flow to your brain and toxins. So I want everyone to practice for the next minute, and I'm going to time you. I want you to practice what the graphic shows you right there. You start with in for a count of 4, and as you count, as you breathe, I want you to count in your head, because what that does is it helps you to focus. And if you just joined, could you please mute your mic? I thought that I had that set up, but no worries. So for the next minute, I'm going to give you about a minute. I want you to practice the deep breathing strategy. I want you to sit up comfortably in wherever you are, or if you're laying down, you can lay down, but get in a comfortable position. You can have your eyes open, you can have them closed, and you'll start by taking a deep breath through your nose for a 4 count, and then you'll hold it for the 4 counts, and then you'll breathe out through your mouth like you're pushing into a straw for an 8 count. Your exhale needs to be twice as long as your inhale. So try that, and I'm gonna time it for about a minute. And when you exhale, it's like you're emptying your lungs. So try that again, keep breathing. You have about 40 seconds.
Okay, thank you. But now I'm on video again. I don't want to be.
Hello.
Ooh, please mute your mics. So we're doing the deep breathing right now. You're going to inhale for 4, hold it for 4, exhale for 8, or as long as you can. We don't want you to strain yourself. And this is the actual deep breathing technique. There's about 10 seconds left. All right. So we tried it. What I want you to do in the chat, I want you to tell me what's the first word that comes to mind when practicing this strategy. Type in what's the first word that comes to mind. A word is focus. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Peace, meditation, quiet, relaxed. All right. So with this particular strategy, this is something that you can do anywhere. You can teach it to children. You can do it sitting at your desk. You can do it in church. If you go to church, wherever you worship, you can do it as you walk outside. You can do it when you wake up in the morning. It's an effective way to help ground yourself, to get your day started, to calm you, and to help you be a bit more focused. So we're gonna try, now that you know how to do it, we're gonna try it with the triangle breathing. So this is also a minute, but the way you do it is you follow the shape. So as the shape expands, we want you to inhale. As the shape contracts, we want you to exhale. So you'll do the same thing. You'll breathe through your nose on the inhale, and then on the expansion, and then on the constriction, you're going to blow out through your mouth. Starting now. Make sure you're comfortable in a relaxed position. Blowing out like you're blowing through a straw. And the triangle breathing method is a creative way, it's a visual way to assist individuals that may be beginners when it comes to meditative breathing, what we call belly breathing or deep breathing. This kind of helps guide them through the process. It makes it a bit more accessible. So, what I'd like to know, and there's just a few more seconds left on this video. Great. What I'd like to know is, how do you think that you'd be able to incorporate the triangle breathing on a daily basis, or even with your children? Type that in the chat. How could you see this type of strategy being used in your classroom, virtually, and when we get back to on-site learning? How could you see incorporating this into a daily practice? Okay, I like that one. I would use it as a warm-up after you've taught the kids about the benefits of deep breathing, how to do it, what it looks like, giving them some practice. Yes. Oh, yes, after recess. That's a good one because we know they're really amped up, right? What about after lunch? Warm up and closing. Yeah. A grounding exercise as they transition from activities. I think that's a good one. You all have some great ideas. So, how is it mindful? What is mindfulness? You know, some people think that being mindful is this elusive thing. It's not. Additionally, one of the concerns that some have about being mindful is that it's a religious practice. It's not. Being mindful is more of a state of being. It has nothing to do with religion. Honestly, people have been being mindful since the beginning of time. We just kind of have a term to coin it with, right? So what mindfulness has to do with is a moment-to-moment experience without judgment. If you just joined, welcome. Could you please mute your mic? Thank you. And what does that mean? It means being present rooted. You're focused on what's happening currently in the moment, and you are experiencing something with acceptance and not judgment. That's what mindfulness is about. And so when you talk about mindfulness and deep breathing, you are being mindful, you are having to focus, you are being present rooted. And if your mind veers off, that's fine. You notice it, you accept it, and you return back to your breath or to that mindful practice that you're doing. And so what it does is it's going to reduce symptoms of anxiety, it helps improve your concentration, and it can also help to improve interpersonal relationships. That's what mindful is about. So I want to, hopefully we don't get kicked off of Zoom, but I want us to really get into how Mark Rothko can be used, his artwork can be used in a mindful way. And we have another video. So with the video, I want you to, it's gonna be like it's a 2-minute, 52-second video. We might not use the whole thing, but I want you, within 30 seconds, I kind of want you to type in the chat, what are feelings that are coming up for you as you watch it? How are you